Okay, yeah, my bad on taking so long, but I was kind of getting touched by college. So here we are, and I am going to discuss how to actually build the piano. First thing we're looking at is the electronics. So for this project, I used the ESP32, I used a buck converter, servos to actually push the keys, the PCA 9685 for servo control, a 5-volt battery. This battery was just used for external power for the PCA, and finally a computer with Arduino IDE. Alright, now that we got components out of the way, we can actually move on to actually building this thing. So you can get, or for the servos, you can do anything you want. I got these cheap 9G servos that come with the Arduino kit, but yeah, it's really up to you what you want to use. Alright, now we gotta attach these servos to the piano, and what I did is I got two pieces of wood, sandwiched the servos between those, and for the second piece of wood, I created these custom housing parts to actually hold the servo. And the reason I have two different blocks of wood is because one of them is for the black keys and one of them is for the white keys. Here's just some time-lapse footage of me actually CADing out these servo holders, and yeah, you just gotta CAD that out, get some measurements of it on your servos, and after that, you are good to 3D print it. Something to note is that this design for my servo holder won't exactly work for everyone, just because depends on the type of material you want to end up using, the length of the wood, your actual piano, just lots of things that can just change design overall. But yeah, once you have everything CADed out and printed, you can actually start assembly of attaching every servo to whatever material you're using to hold it to the piano. And this is a long process, trust me. Having to do this for around, I use 56 servos, but if you want to do a full piano, it's going to take a lot longer. But yeah, once you have everything attached, you can move on to electronics assembly. There isn't really much to be done with electronics. All that you have to worry about is connecting the ESP32 to your PCAs. I used 3 for my project, but you can use up to 62, I believe. And for each of those PCAs, you can connect 16 servos. So around like 990 servos. The only thing you gotta worry about for these PCAs is it does require some external power. I bust an external 5 voltage battery to these 3 PCAs, but with more PCAs, you should have more external power. Finally, moving on to the most painful part of this project is the code. Luckily, if you do want to create this project, I linked my code in the description. But yeah, this was one of the most painful parts of this project, as every time I believed I had it, it just didn't work. But after lots of trial and error, I finally got it to work. But yeah, a general overview of how this code worked is it would receive a lot of data, which is why I use the ESP32 as it has more storage. And it would tell the servos when to press and if it's been pressed already and lots of other stuff. I'll leave comments in my code to tell you what each thing means. But yeah, the thing actually driving or giving us all this data is a Python script, and it's basically just converting your MIDI file into readable code for our ESP32. All you have to do to utilize this Python script is put in your path data right here, and it should spit out the MIDI file in terms of data that you can actually use. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up how I was able to create this project. If you have any questions, make sure to leave some comments so I'll try to respond to them. Hopefully not in 8 months. And look forward to seeing some projects in the future. I'm currently trying to work on something, and I just ordered the parts as of June 23rd. So look forward to that, and I'll see you the next time I complete a project.